Good morning, and congratulations to you, our new City Board and Commission members. I'm Manu, your ethics tour guide, and today I'll be taking you on a quick tour to your various boards and commissions. Along the way, we'll learn about the city's ethics laws. Here's our textbook for today. Are you ready for your first day at the city and a little Ethics 101?
Yes.
Here's our first stop, the Board of Water Supply. The Board of Water Supply has a dedicated board of directors, and like all new city board and commission members, the Board of Water Supply's board of directors must file financial disclosures. As a new board or commission member, you will need to submit an electronic financial disclosure via the city's electronic filing system, FinD. You will receive an email from your board or commission's liaison with a link and further information to create an hnl.info account so that you may submit your financial disclosure. You can also find a link to the system on the Ethics Commission website. But wait, there's more. There are 3 important due dates to remember for financial disclosures. Your initial financial disclosure is due 20 days from swearing date. Your annual disclosure is due every January 31st. The filing period for your annual disclosure begins on January 1st, and your final disclosure is due 10 days prior to leaving your city position. Financial disclosures are very important because they ensure transparency in government and assist filers with identifying potential conflicts of interest. Welcome to the Fosse Municipal Building, currently home to the Building Board of Appeals. The Building Board of Appeals hears and determines appeals from the decisions of the Director of the Department of Planning and Permitting. Our lesson here will be about conflicts of interest.
What's a conflict of interest?
A conflict of interest occurs when your personal interests compromise or appears to compromise your official city judgments, decision, or actions. These personal interests may be financial or personal. Examples of financial conflicts include business ownership, creditor interest in an insolvent business, employment or prospective employment for which negotiation have begun, ownership interest in real or personal property, loan or debtor interest, directorship or officership in a business, and income. Personal relationships that may cause a conflict of interest include family relationships, frequent social companions, and close friends.
So, what do I do if I have a conflict of interest?
You need to disclose the conflict in writing to the Mayor's Office and the Ethics Commission. You can find the Disclosure of Conflict of Interest statement form on the Commission's website. You will also need to recuse yourself, which means you may not discuss, deliberate, vote, or participate in the matter. You must even physically remove yourself from the room on the matter in which you have a conflict.
If my friend and neighbor of 10 years has an appeal matter related to his home remodel pending before the board, what should I do?
It sounds like the situation presents a conflict of interest. A close friendship of 10 years is considered a personal interest that can impact your impartiality. Additionally, as a neighbor, you may have a personal or financial interest in the remodel's outcome, which could affect the property values or neighborhood dynamics. In this case, the appropriate course of action is to disclose this relationship and recuse yourself from participating in the matter.
Thank you. If I have any questions about conflicts, who should I contact?
Please contact the Ethics Commission via phone or email. Our attorney of the day can assist you. Welcome to the Honolulu Fire Department headquarters. HFD has a 7-member commission that conducts various mandates related to HFD, including reviewing personnel actions within the department. Here we will learn about our Fair and Equal Treatment Law. Under our Fair and Equal Treatment Law, City Board and Commission members may not give special treatment, whether advantageous or disadvantageous, to themselves or anyone that is not available to all persons. This law ensures that you do not use your city position to give yourself or any person an advantage that is not available to others. That means you cannot use city resources for non-city purposes. City resources include your city title, time during meetings, and city letterhead.
Okay, I think I understand. But just to be sure, can you use your city title as a commissioner to bid for contracts or engage in business transactions with someone that appears before your board?
No, you cannot, because using your city position for personal gain or to seek special treatment from someone who appears before your board is a misuse of your role and creates a conflict of interest. Now it's time to head over to the Honolulu Police Department main station. For this lesson, let's learn about the city's ethics law regarding confidential information. Confidential information is any city information that is not available to the public. You cannot disclose confidential city information for your own or anyone else's benefit. You must maintain the confidentiality in perpetuity or until that information becomes public.
Hi, Manu. The Police Commission handles personnel matters and even conducts investigations into allegations of misconduct. If members of the public or the news calls and ask questions about these matters, what should we do?
Great question. Personnel matters and pending investigations are confidential city matters, so details and information must not be shared. We recommend consulting with your commission on how to respond to these inquiries.
Thank you so much.
It's that time again. Let's board the rail and head to our next location. Just 2 more stops to go. It's Ali'i Place, currently home to the Honolulu Authority for Rapid Transportation, or HART, Board of Directors. Here, we will learn about the city's gift law. Under our city's gift law, city board and commission members cannot accept gifts from a prohibited source. A prohibited source means a lobbyist or anyone who receives or may receive city funds such as vendors, contractors, consultants and suppliers, concessionaires, nonprofit organizations that receive city grants or loans for community services. However, there are exceptions to this prohibition. Under these exemptions, you can accept a gift from a prohibited source if it's an inherited gift, gifts from your ohana, anything that's publicly available, gifts that you return to the giver or donate to a public, educational, or charitable organization within 30 days after receipt, gift exchange of approximately equal value on holidays, birthdays, or other special occasions, typical beverages, meals, or snacks given at conferences or meetings worth $50 or less, monetary donations or items worth $50 or less typically given to express condolences or sympathy, items customarily given from a single source within a fiscal year worth $50 or less, culturally appropriate lei of no resale value given at a celebration, awards, plaques, certificates, or culturally significant items of no resale value given in recognition or gratitude for a civic, charitable, political, professional, or public service, unsolicited protocol gifts from other governments.
What if you receive a gift from someone who is not a prohibited source?
That is an awesome question. If the gift giver is not a prohibited source, City Board and Commissioners cannot solicit or accept gifts if it appears intended to influence, reward, or provide an unfair advantage. The Ethics Commission considers several factors to determine whether or not a city employee can accept a gift from a non-prohibited source. The city officer's or employee's official duties, the business relationship between the city officer or employee and the donor, if the gift has any city purpose, if the gift impugns the integrity of the city officer or employee's department or agency, donor benefit from giving the gift, the value of the gift, community gift-giving custom and practice. If you have any questions on whether you can accept a gift, please contact the Ethics Commission for assistance. Now let's head to our next location for our final lesson. Welcome to Mission Memorial Auditorium, the quarterly meeting place for the Honolulu Board of Parks and Recreation. Here we will discuss what happens when leaving your city service. There is a 1-year cooling off period when leaving your board or commission position. This means that for 1 year after leaving city service, you may not receive compensation from a private interest for services that involve discretionary matter in which you participated or to which you had access to confidential information during your city service. There are some exceptions to the law where the restrictions do not apply. If you work on the matter on behalf of the city, if the matter you are seeking to work on was strictly ministerial, if you didn't work on the matter while working for the city, don't know any confidential information, and file a sworn statement in writing.
Hi, I was just appointed to this board. Can you provide an example of the type of work that I could not participate in upon leaving my city service under this law?
Sure. For example, let's say that during your city service you worked on developing improvements to the Department of Parks and Recreation's Summer Fun program. You specifically recommended utilizing non-city sites to accommodate more participants and help to develop the application process for this program. Upon leaving city service, your private employer asks you to apply to become a site provider for DPR's Summer Fun program. Can you complete and submit this application? No, you cannot work on this application on behalf of a new employer, a private organization, because you worked on this matter during your city service. You likely have confidential information related to the application process that would give you and your company an unfair advantage over other applicants. We recommend that your company delegates this task to another employee. And as a friendly reminder, you cannot share confidential city information related to this application process, including undisclosed selection criteria.
Great, thank you for that example.
No problem. I hope that helped. Now let's head back to Honolulu to conclude today's lesson. We're back, and before our ethics lesson officially ends, I'd like to mention the Commission's free service. If you have any questions or concerns related to the city's ethics laws, please contact the Commission for guidance. The Commission has an Attorney of the Day program. Your inquiry or concern will be assigned to the Attorney of the Day for follow-up. We provide free and confidential legal advice regarding our city's ethics laws. If you have an urgent board or commission matter, please let us know so we can expedite your request. And remember, violating the city's ethics laws can result in serious consequences, such as fines or even removal from your board or commission. So please call us for advice. Mahalo for spending your time with us today. We wish you all much success in your new appointments. And remember, we're always here to help if you need us. A hui ho.